young to spoil yourself. That's the show.
When,
Let's go.
when is it too young to spoil yourself? Stay tuned.
I'm the ringleader, so listen up.
Hello, senior citizen.
Hello, Junior.
And James Bond. We've got James
He's
Bond
a
with us.
legend. Look at that. Look at that.
The king, the guy that really knows how to enjoy himself.
The king of enjoying. Absolutely. When you watch those movies, that's living, huh? That's living.
Yeah, you know, that's what you're working towards. The cars, the company, the restaurants, that's it.
Not for everyone, but
Not for
certainly
everyone,
for some,
that's true.
and certainly for James Bond.
That's true.
This morning's topic.
When is it too young to enjoy yourself? In other words, at what age is it okay to start buying the nice cars, start spending money on the restaurants that are a little bit extravagant, almost just living lavish?
If that's what you're after.
True. But it's a funny one, right? Because at what age do you start? Is it when you earn the right to start earning a bit of money for yourself, and then you can sort of spend your money on whatever you want, or when you retire, or when you get married and have kids? Like what's the answer?
When you start, and look, it's a great it's something that we thought it's very candid to have a bit of a chat about it today, but it's conversations we have in the office all the time with each other. If you're gonna do something like buying a home to live in, refreshing your car after a long period, and there's sort of no rhyme or reason. There's sort of no wrong or right, but it's a very interesting topic. And if you don't mind, Billy, I think Billy's the old man in a young body. I love that quote. But it's a chat that you probably have more often with younger people than older people. I guess you're sort of doing your own thing in the second half of your life and you're making your own moves. But certainly in the first half of your life, you're talking to your parents, you're talking to your colleagues in the office, and you're weighing all up, which is what you're sort of doing at the moment. With moving out into a property, should I move? Should I not move? Juggling, just juggling everything. So, when is it, Billy? When is it the right time to make moves and start spoiling yourself?
You know what's hard is like when you buy a property and then you have to go and live in it. You don't want to be, and you're moving out of home, and home's always, comfortable nest where you've grown up. You don't want to move out and then feel like you're living in a bit of a shoebox, or all the comforts of home are no longer with you. So you want to spend money on the nice rug that just sits on the floor because it looks nice and it feels nice, or you want to spend money on the decent bed sheets just because then you're not, scratching yourself to sleep. And at what point does it go a bit too far? Then you want to have the nice car because everyone else around you has the nice car. I don't think that ever is the right time. I honestly don't.
You know what I think it is also, and everyone's different. Like what makes different people happy is completely different, and I think it's an order of priority. A lot of people don't get the priorities right, and certainly as you start to get older, you realise that if you do get, you do chase the dream, and you do get the priorities right. I love people's feedback on this, by the way. When is the right time to start spoiling yourself with certain things, family, and I think it's really all about priority, and the better you get that priority, the better I think the quicker and faster the next thing comes up in front of you. And I also think there's part of enjoyment is actually just stopping and having a look around, or part of spoiling yourself is not doing anything and smelling the roses. Stop climbing the mountain and have a look around and enjoy the view. And I think that's just important. So when you've actually bought that rug that you're talking about, to actually stop moments in time and actually just enjoy that sort of stuff, because you can very quickly move on to the next thing and the next thing and the next thing and the next thing and the next thing, and actually constantly live in an unhappy state of mind, or you're ruthless, or you're restless, and you want more. So I think part of what Billy, what you're doing at the moment is, I think just enjoying it, and getting out into your own, and getting out of school into a new job. Like, you've only been in real estate for less than 2 years. I think it's actually a lot of it is a state of mind and just enjoying yourself. And for some reason, I think that also helps with prioritization and moving you on to other stuff.
Yeah, but like you say, there's almost a certain way you want to go about, living short term or long term. And once you figure that out, then it's pretty easy to put some sort of an agenda together on how to get there. So for some, that might be retire at 50 and just have heaps of time off. Now, to retire at 50, you might want to just absolutely smash work short term, set yourself up. For other people, it might be just making sure you can go to the beach every afternoon. And so there's a particular type of job that will allow you to do that. And it's like, once you figure out where you want to go, then you can just start spoiling yourself with the right kind of, in the right kind of ways. If you want to be a pro surfer, then, there's a particular job that will allow you to, get the hours in the water. And so then you can just start spoiling yourself in ways that's going to obviously make you happy.
It's different. And, like, I've got a really interesting client which spoil yourself buy a property. But I've one of my favorite friends and clients bought it, like, heading to 100 fairly quickly. And what I find really interesting is spoiling themselves is playing the sport, and the sport is investing, and the sport is renting out the investment, and the sport is going to work every day. And a lot of people think, why aren't you spoiling yourself? But that particular person, that's the ultimate spoil. Keeps the marriage healthy, keeps the mind healthy, and it's not the spoil we think. Like, you'd think someone like that, for instance, would be, they can live wherever they want, they can fly wherever they want, they can eat whatever they want. But that's not the spoil. The spoil is practicing their sport and having the freedom to actually be able to do those things, but not necessarily doing them. So it sort of changes the dynamic a little bit when you're young, to think about, I guess what's sort of important to you out there. So, and I think it's a relevant topic for today, because I do get asked a lot on social media, mentoring people at work, about certain milestones and achieving certain things, and people often feel sometimes they're behind the 8 ball, and that's a good natural feeling.
Yeah, but the other spin off this is talking about retirement. Now, Mark's not on here to announce retirement, fortunately for us, not just yet. But what age do you retire? Because it's interesting. You were talking about superannuation, the way the government is setting you up to retire at an age. What is it now? I think it's got a 7 in front for males.
It was 65 but I think it's hitting 70.
Yeah.
If it hasn't already with superannuations and retirement packages and stuff like that. But it's amazing as a society. You know, when is it too young to spoil yourself? This cannot be a topic that's relevant to a 21-year-old. It could be a topic relevant to a 55-year-old who's done enormously well and can afford to stop working. Do you really want to spoil yourself and stop working? It's a really interesting topic.
Yeah, because a lot of people will find too much time is almost not exactly what they wanted. Maybe they just wanted to cut back a bit, slow down. But it's interesting, at what age do you say I'm, packing it in? And for a lot of people, I think it's more just a shift into something else.
A lot of people say, yeah, like I think you often think when spoiling yourself and packing in early is playing golf on a golf course at a young age. But I think it's, for me personally, and I think everyone's different, I don't think I ever want to retire. I think the reality is maybe less hours, but, it's pretty interesting. I think, 55, 65 and 75 won't look that much different. But we're cultured to put our feet up at the age of 55, 65, and that may be your way of spoiling yourself. It's a really interesting topic.
Yeah. Well, I'm a little way off there, Mark, but I'll let you know how I go over the next couple of decades.
And I think it's going to be great to see your trajectory, Billy. You're a very interesting young person, and so anyone who doesn't follow Billy on social or his work, start watching, because some of the conversations you have are a bit of a spin out. So you're an old man in a young man's body.
It's funny. I'm just trying to live like James Bond. That's where I'm going.
Lisa and I were talking about you this morning. We're saying you probably can't train some of your traits that are wonderful. I don't think are trainable. I think you fortunately got them, or you don't. And then you got to find the right industry that it gels with or squares off with, which you've done.
Yeah, I call it a bit of luck. Thanks, Mum and Dad.
What a mum and dad. Cool people.
But I think that's a bit of a wrap. There is no age to start spoiling yourself. Do it in small doses, though. Not too early. Make sure you do it with good reason. Don't just go crazy. And I think, that overall leads to making sure you're making sure you're enjoying yourself and working hard. Work hard, play hard.
And having all those spoils in priority as well, and those things that you're after. And it's certainly a marathon, not a sprint. So you don't want to do a spoil of a sprint either. So it's all priorities.
That's it.
See you legends. Take care.
Bye.
See you, mate.